What's up, XDefiant fans? It is Preach as always. As you already know, if you've seen any other content from me, I love this game. I think it is an absolute blast to play, but I'm not blinded to the fact that there are things that could be better. There are elements within how the game functions, how the game is played, and even down to faction abilities that can really ruin your gaming experience in certain matches. Today, we're going to discuss 5 things that I absolutely hate in XDefiant. But instead of just complaining about them, I'm going to give my personal thoughts on what possible solutions could be instead of just taking away features from the game. The idea here is to create a discourse across this channel where we can discuss what we like and what we dislike in a way that is meant to be helpful and not harmful. I don't know that developers will ever see one of my videos or read any of your comments, but maybe they will. So let's discuss away and try to make a positive difference in a game that could really impact the FPS landscape as a whole. Even if you have no intent to play this game, making this game better could be the influence to drive your game to get better. The more that people like things and praise things in XDefiant, the more chance that Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, etc. listen to their communities as well. The whole goal here isn't to lift one game up and put another game down. It is to make gaming better across the board for us, the consumers. So let's not drag this out any longer. If you guys like this video, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video. Now, the number one thing that I hate in XDefiant is the Spiderbot. I played a match on Arena yesterday where the enemy had 4 players using Desync and all using the Spiderbot. And apparently now it doesn't just jump on your face, but it can stun you from behind as well, which is something I didn't realize. I ended up stunned 8 different times in just that one match. Every time was from behind where I couldn't see it coming to attempt to counter it. Personally, I would love to get rid of it altogether, but that is just because of my own bad experience. But what I want to do is offer an idea for how to make it a little less prominent, problematic, and overpowered on the map. I think we should increase the cooldown on it. With 4 people using it and being able to have it at the start of almost every life, there were basically 4 of them crawling on the map at the same time about every 30 seconds. And honestly, in my opinion, that was just way too much. Instead of eliminating them, let's just make it to where you have to wait a little bit longer to be able to deploy it. I'd be okay with increasing the cooldown time on it, on every ability really, so that we aren't just destroying the DedSec faction, but make the shields, the fire drones, the sonar goggles, and every other ability have a longer cooldown than they do. I would even say doubling the time in between would be great. The second thing I hate about XDefiant is loading into pre-existing matches when I didn't back out after a game. It is totally understandable when you first log in to get tossed into a pre-existing match. But after that match, if you don't back out of matchmaking, you shouldn't have to load into an escort that is already 70% of the way to its target, or into a domination match that is 600 to 300. Usually when you get tossed in the middle of an existing game, you are tossed onto a team that is getting slammed and somebody backed out, creating an opening. The problem is sometimes you enter that game in a spawn trap because what is left of the team you just got thrown onto are hunkering down in their base, trying not to get shot anymore, and you never get a chance to get into the rhythm of the game, and the trap isn't your fault because you weren't there to contribute to it. The other problem that happens is an even bigger cost to the player. You enter into the game with XP tokens activated, and since they haven't fixed those to only count down in-game yet, when you enter the game and it ends 2 minutes later because it was already almost over, you end up wasting time on your XP tokens by being back in the menu without having the opportunity to play out a full game. They've already announced they will be patching those XP tokens, but the solution that will fix this whole issue altogether will be when they get rid of disbanding lobbies. If the lobby stays together from our previous match, we won't have to worry about getting thrown into a different match that is already in progress. The third thing I hate about XDefiant is the lack of jump fatigue. I'm all for bunny hopping and jump strafing and movement mechanics that create a skill gap and help you win gunfights. I just believe that eventually there should be a point in which the operator gets tired. Maybe 2 or 3 hops and then your jumps barely move until you regen that energy a little bit. As it stands right now, you can just keep jumping over and over and over and over and over and over again. So like I said, I do not want them to remove jumping and bunny hopping from the game. Just let the Energizer Bunny's batteries die for a second and need to recharge. The fourth thing I hate about XDefiant is the slow health regen. If you take any damage in a gunfight and you are not using Libertad and have no Libertad teammates, you have to hide for what seems like forever for your health bar even starts to replenish any. I'm sure this was done to make the Libertad faction more worth using for their healing abilities, but it just seems absurdly long in my opinion. I don't think we should regen immediately, but maybe just shave a second or two off so that we can get back into the fight after we have won a fight. Maybe we could even create health regen upon kills to where you regenerate your health after you kill someone. It starts the regeneration process. It doesn't regenerate you fully like that one ability in Call of Duty, but it just kickstarts your regen and it starts to come up instead of you having to wait. Just do something to reward winning the gunfight, maybe in that particular scenario, but mostly to push the pace of the game so that we're not sitting there trying to wait so that you have a chance when you know other enemies are coming. I don't want it to regen immediately, that's ridiculous, but maybe a little bit faster than it does now. The fifth thing that I hate about XDefiant already has announced future patches coming, and acknowledgments on social media by the developers that they are aware and working on this issue, and that is Desync and getting shot around walls. How many times have you been sure that you made it behind cover only to fall over dead in an area where the enemy has zero line of sight on you? It is very frustrating, but as I said, the developers have already acknowledged that this is an issue and stated that they will be fixing it in a future patch. So here is to hoping they get it fixed soon. My goal in this video is not to bash the game. As I stated, I absolutely love the game. But I want to create an open, honest discourse, and hopefully I have helped to do that here today. So let me know in the comments below what your least favorite features of the game are, and what you hope they change or fix as soon as possible. And if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn those bell notifications on if you want to know every time I post a new video, and I will catch you in the next one. Preach out.